Good evening. We are bringing you commentary of Borussia Dortmund against Manchester City today from the Champions League. I'm your alternative host, Russ Vernon, and you are listening to Football Commentary Live. Should be an enthralling encounter, this one today. Manchester City leading from the first leg by 2 goals to 1 away goal in the first leg for Manchester City to go through to 2-1 up in this tie ahead of this game this evening. Bellingham in the last one had a goal wrongly ruled out as well, due to supposedly a foul on Ederson when the replay showed Bellingham cleanly won the ball. Should be a great game this afternoon and or this evening, depending where you are in the world listening to us. This evening, the other game in the Champions League today sees Liverpool take on Real Madrid, and we'll bring you the score at half time and full time. But we have got a bit of news from that one, and Liverpool have condemned the now clever actions that led to Real Madrid's team coach being damaged during his arrival at Anfield this evening. Manchester City come into this game on the back of that shocking 2-1 defeat to Leeds United on Saturday, when Stuart Dallas scored twice for Marcelo Bielsa's men to put Leeds and give them all 3 points. Borussia Dortmund won by 3-2 against Stuttgart in their last game, also on Saturday. Dortmund sit 5th in the table. Manchester City sit top of the Premier League despite losing to Leeds on Saturday. That's their second defeat in around about 27. I think they won 27 of the last 28 matches prior to this in all competitions, prior to facing Leeds, and then they lost with Ferran Torres scoring for Manchester City in that game. And to see whether Ferran Torres is going to be starting tonight or whether he's on the bench tonight, and to give us some early team news ahead of kickoff, which is coming up very, very soon, I can fetch in now and say a very good evening to our match commentator this evening. It's Mike Ornament. Good evening, Mike. How you doing, my friend? You okay?
Good evening, Russ. Yeah, doing pretty good, thank you. And I will answer that question for you straight away. So I'll run you through the Manchester City lineup and you'll be able to find out for yourself. In goal is Ederson. The back line is Kyle Walker, John Stones, Ruben Diaz and Zinchenko, who's preferred at left back to Cancelo tonight. Also in midfield, Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri and Gundogan. And then Mahrez, Bernardo Silva and Phil Foden. So you could probably just about pick out what I'm going to be saying next. That means that on the Manchester City bench is, of course, Ferran Torres, who you mentioned there. Also Nathan Ake, Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, the goalkeeper Zach Steffen, Aymeric Laporte, Mendy, Fernandinho, Cancelo, Eric Garcia, and then the young goalkeeper James Trafford as well, making up the Manchester City bench. And then the Dortmund starting lineup is Hitz in goal, Mane at right back. The defence there consists of Hummels, and he is partnered by the number 16 Akanji, and then Guerrero at left back, Bellingham, Emre Can and Dahoud in the midfield, and then Nauf, Haaland and Royce making up the front line. And then on the bench is Berkey, then Hazard, Schulz, Brand, Cavallo, Meunier, Piszczek, Tigges, Pazlak, Reina, Rashi, and Steven Dryjaka, who is a reserve goalkeeper as well. And then the officials for the game are Carlos Del Caro Grande from Spain. He's assisted by Juan Carlos Yuste. And then Roberto Alonso Fernandez, and that's the two assistants. Jose Maria Sanchez is the fourth official, and then the VAR is Juan Martinez Muniera, and Jesus Gil Manzanzo, who's assisting him, and then João Murray, is the UEFA delegate, and Marcus Nobbs from Switzerland is the referee observer. The first couple of those all being from Spain up until the UEFA delegate, who's from Portugal, and then, of course, as I just mentioned, the referee observer is from Switzerland, and it's going to be a really entertaining game. This one, of course, it was in the first leg as well, the opening game last week, and of course, it's all to play for.
Yes, quite right, Mark. It's all to play for. Looking back from that first leg, and Manchester City won by 2-1 through Kevin De Bruyne and Phil Foden, with the goals Foden scoring in the 90th minute to win after De Bruyne put Manchester City 1-0 up on 90 minutes, but then Dortmund cancelled it out through Marcus Royce. If you're looking at that, Mark, and as I mentioned, Jude Bellingham had a goal wrongly ruled out in the last game for apparent foul on Ederson.
Yeah.
Wrongly ruled out, in my opinion, and probably a lot of others' opinions as well.
Yeah, I've seen it back as well. Obviously, I wasn't covering that game last week. I was covering another game, but when I watched that one back, I did think that was the wrong decision. And, Dortmund fans and Dortmund players and staff have every right to be a little bit aggrieved by that, yeah.
The question I'm about to ask you now, Mike, is with Bellingham and that goal ruled out last week, how big a moment would it be today, and how much do you think he'll be still playing on his mind, that one? And do you think he'll be up for trying to make amends and try and say to the officials, you got it wrong last week, try and disallow this one this week with a more firm and good goal this evening? Do you think that could be running through his mind?
I don't know really. I think it's just any other game really for Jude Bellingham. I don't think it's going to play on his mind too much. Yes, it might a little bit, but I think he's going to be very focused and switched on, and even more so coming up against English opponents as well. So yeah, I don't see it having a massive impact on the game itself, and I don't think there's going to be a lot going through Jude Bellingham's head there in regards to that. But you never know. Sometimes these players use it as an extra bit of motivation, but I don't see it personally, no.
Also, Mike, Holland has been playing some fantastic football in recent weeks for Borussia Dortmund this season, and scored quite a number of goals. He didn't score at the weekend. He last scored in a 2-2 draw against Cologne back in March.
Yeah.
And not scored for a number of weeks when they last scored a draw. He didn't score against Frankfurt or in the first leg against Man City or against Stuttgart. How do you feel he would be feeling out of this game? Do you reckon he'll be wanting to get back amongst the goal scoring run and put an end to his goal scoring job that he's got so far?
100% is a clinical striker. And of course, when these strikers are going through a bit of a barren spell, they want to get out of that as quickly as possible. So yeah, completely. I think Haaland's going to want to, go out there and get himself a couple of goals. Even to kind of go on to the fact that, of course, Leeds went on and they beat Manchester City at the weekend. So they've seen that Manchester City can be got at. They've seen there's frailties in this Manchester City side, and they can, use the likes of Haaland there and Marco Reus as well to really try and get at this Manchester City back line and, see what Manchester City, can do. See whether they're trying to make any sort of other mistakes again. And, of course, remember, Dortmund only need to win this one 1-0 and then they go through by the away goal. So, but then, of course, there's plenty of attacking threat on show from Manchester City, although they're without Aguero, as we mentioned off stream. He's obviously injured, but there's still plenty to prove there for Haaland, and even maybe to the point that he might be a replacement for Aguero next season when the Argentine leaves. So maybe that might play in his mind a little bit, the fact that he wants to impress the side that might want to sign him.
Yes, also, Matt, you mentioned there about Man City, one who they can be got after losing to Leeds. Ederson, some people may point the finger at Ederson and say it was a fault for the goal. Dortmund just making their way out onto the field as we speak right now, as we just go through this last question before I hand over to you.
Yeah.
First off, coverage. And do you feel that maybe running through his mind that it was possibly a fault for the Leeds winning goal, Ederson going into this one tonight, knowing this is a big game for Manchester City, like every game is this season for them?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the goalkeeper there, Manchester City play out from the back as well, don't they? And that kind of plays against them sometimes. So yeah, very much. I think you want to try and right the wrongs as such from the weekend, making a couple of mistakes there, and of course, yeah, it's going to be a really intriguing game, very interesting. Of course, Dortmund. It's a shame that there's no fans there because, of course, the Dortmund wall as well is always fantastic, and you can see there's the yellow and black seats there, but it's so much better when that stadium is full. And it's hopefully next season the fans are back in again, and we haven't got to worry about games like this being played behind closed doors.
Yeah, so for this will be the last Champions League game at Borussia Dortmund, or one certainly anyway, one of the last games at Dortmund where there's where there's a game with no fans there. I think Dortmund may have missed the fans in recent home games and where they've failed to pick up points in. So the teams are out, we're almost ready for kick-off. I'm going to hand over any second right now. We get ready for kick-off out there in Dortmund this evening. The game's been played at the BVB Stadion in Dortmund. Mike is standing by in the studio here at Football Commentary Live HQ. So we're going to hand over to him any second right now for first half commentary as Borussia Dortmund look to get past Manchester City into UEFA Champions League semi-finals and set up a tie with Paris Saint-Germain. But or can Manchester City go through against Paris Saint-Germain? We'll keep you updated with Liverpool against Real Madrid. The winners of that one will take on Chelsea after they went through against Porto last night. But to this one that we're coming tonight, Borussia Dortmund versus Manchester City, and in the company of match commentator Mike Ornament.
Thank you, Russ. So I'm going to run you through the lineups again, just whilst we're waiting for the two teams here to take a knee and everything else that they do these days. In goal for Manchester City is Ederson, and the backline is Walker, Stones, Diaz, Zinchenko. De Bruyne, Rodri, and Gundogan make up the midfield with Mahrez, Silva, and Foden, the strikers, or acting strikers, with Dortmund having Hitz, Mane, Hummels, and who was the other guy there? Let's have a look. The number 16, bear with me, which is, hold on a moment, Manuel Akanji, is the partner there. Guerrero, Bellingham, Chan, Dahoud, Nauf, Haaland, and Royce are the Dortmund front line. The subs I will run you through for Manchester City is Ake, Sterling, Jesus, Stefan, Laporte, Torres, Mendy, Fernandinho, Cancelo, Garcia, and Trafford. And then the subs for Dortmund are Berkey, Hazard, Scholes, Brandt, Cavallo, Meunier, Piszczek, Tigges, Pazlak, Reina, Rashi, and Drakkar. And the referees we already mentioned the officials, but the main referee is Carlos Cuero Grande from Spain, and he is just about to get this game underway. It looks like it's Jude Bellingham and Erling Haaland there. I think it's actually the England international Bellingham who's going to be taking the kickoff here. The man who, of course, was ruled out, his goal throw was ruled out last week, and we just touched on it off stream in our little build up there as well, just in regards to that goal. And that goal hopefully been able to stand from the Dortmund perspective would have been a lot fairer on them, and they're just showing Dahoud now as well. And it looks like Dortmund are in yellow, their home yellow, and Manchester City are in the blue as well. And referees said, let's get underway, and it's all the way back with Akanji, I believe, now, and he's going to clear this one up the field, and Dortmund looking to get on the front foot straight away. And we're just about 10 seconds into this game, and Dortmund already have the ball in the Manchester City half, and goalkeeper Ederson now clears it long for Manchester City, and I think maybe he was learning a little bit on other games that he did, about playing it out from the back there, and it was a good clearance up the field, and it's now with Hummels there, just heads it out to Rafael Guerrero and into the midfield, but it's given away to Riyad Mahrez there, the Algerian, and it's now with, I think that's Phil Foden, was just bundled over, but the referee says play on, and Dahoud there just knocks it around there with Guerrero and Royce as well. But now Manchester City are in there, but it's given away by Silva, and the Manchester City man there, Bernardo Silva, has just caught his man there, as they just show the coach on the screen, Edin Terzic of Borussia Dortmund as well, who are now in possession of the ball, and it's with Akanji and then out to Mane or Mane, and it's now Dortmund on the attack early on, trying to feed the ball through. To Royce there, and they've got a chance here now. Is that Bellingham in? I think it is. But it was an offside in there anyway, and the referee's assistant there has put his flag up, and Manchester City get a breather straight away. It was a good play from Dortmund there. It was Kyle Walker originally, and then he lost out, and I couldn't quite see. It might have even been Royce. I think it was. In fact, it was Royce, the man that was caught offside there just in the opening minute or two of this game. And Manchester City are just playing it out from the back at the moment, and it is currently with Diaz, who's got it back again. He's going to switch it across to his centre-half partner, John Stones, the England international as well now. And John Stones is going to bring it out of the defence, and he's going to turn actually and give it back to Diaz now. He's going to look up and play a ball across here to Zinchenko. Onto Phil Foden and Silva there. So it was actually Gundogan. Now it's Zinchenko, and now it's back with Diaz again, and on to John Stones one more time. As we are still goalless in this game, still early points of the game, and it's still Dortmund 0, Manchester City 0, with Manchester City just playing the ball around now, getting a foothold in this game a bit. And it's currently with, I think that was Rodri there, or well, I couldn't quite see. In fact, he's got the ball. But it's with John Stones now. It was actually Gundogan, I think. Now it's Zinchenko. He's going to switch it out to Phil Foden here now. He's on good form, actually, at the moment. The England man got himself the goal, of course, to put Manchester City into the ascendancy last week with that last-minute winner in stoppage time. Be interesting to see what impact he has in this game today, of course, with Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus, both substitutes as well, and Sergio Aguero missing with the injury that we touched on before. As they just show Pep Guardiola there, the Manchester City man. Of course, they're only a few wins away from winning the title with the blue side of Manchester, currently 11 points clear of their rivals from down the road at Old Trafford. And the German side here, Borussia Dortmund, are struggling this season, as Russ mentioned. They're currently in 5th, and they're a full 19 points behind the leaders, Bayern Munich, and there's a number of other teams above them as well. I think they're 7 points below the team in 4th place as well. So they've got a bit of work to be doing, have the Dortmund side here, and they've got a little bit of work to be doing here as well, because, of course, they are trailing this tie. So be interested to see what happens there. This might be their only route into the Champions League as well, on the back of the coming up fixtures. And, of course, the winners of this one, as Russ mentioned, do go on and play PSG, and they got a away goals victory yesterday. Here's Phil Foden now for Manchester City, on to Gundogan. Of course, that would have been a nice, old, tasty German affair, possibly, between Dortmund and Bayern if they both got through. But Dortmund are just behind here. And, of course, as I mentioned, Bayern were beaten on the away goals yesterday, although they were a little bit unlucky in both games, really, if I'm completely honest. And here is Manchester City's John Stones now. He's going to get it back as well and give it to Ruben Diaz, and going to play it out across to Kevin De Bruyne, I think that is. Yep, just he's taking it round his man. He's going to try and get the cross in here, the Belgian as well. Plays it into the box onto Gundogan, and it's Phil Foden couldn't quite control that one, and Jude Bellingham just about gets it clear, and Rodri tries to whip it in, but it's tidied up there by the Bayern back line. I think that might have been Guerrero back there, and there's Royce now and Haaland, but it's given away. In fact, it's given away by Zinchenko as well to the number 2 Mane, and on to Akanji, and then on to Hummels, and then across back to his centre-back partner he goes again. And just 1-2 between the pair of them now, and switched across back to this right-hand side with Mane again. And Dortmund here, just playing it around. Of course, Borussia Dortmund playing, as I'm watching it, from left to right, and Manchester City vice versa. And Dortmund are in here as well, and it looked like that was a great header there from, I think that might have been Ruben Diaz who got it, but was given away. And there's an opportunity here on the edge of the box with Dahoud, and it's fired straight at Ederson. Didn't really have to move too much there. And the shot, he got quite a lot behind the shot, but he was directed straight at the Manchester City goalkeeper there, who've done very well to stand firm and it just, catch that one nice and easily. And Manchester City are now just playing it around at the back here with Ruben Diaz and John Stones. We're 6 minutes, coming up to 7 minutes, in fact, on the clock. Still a goalless score in this second leg quarter-final tie to see who goes on and faces PSG in the semi-finals, and then, potentially, maybe facing on with Real Madrid or Liverpool in the final. Well, of course, Chelsea got through last night against Porto as well. So it could be an all-English final still in both European competitions, in fact. Although Arsenal have a lot of work to do tomorrow. And Chelsea got the job done yesterday, was what I was trying to say there, in this competition. So it'd be, of course, Manchester United are doing very well themselves in the UEFA Cup. They're 2-0 up going into the game against Granada tomorrow. They should probably get through that one and go on and do well in the competition. But it's now with Manchester City coming back to the action for today. And it's Diaz now with John Stones in support. And out it goes to Kyle Walker now. He knocks it back to John Stones, and on to his centre-back partner he goes again. And he's going to turn, he's going to knock it into Zinchenko here. Plays it across to Phil Foden. That was good defending there from Akanji and cleared by the goalkeeper Hits. And good head up there from Zinchenko. Knocks it on. It's now with Dortmund in the midfield. And I think that's Dahoud. He just had that effort a moment ago. It is Bellingham now. On to Akanji and then on to Mane. Or Mane. And it's now with Bellingham again. And there's Akanji now. And he goes back to his goalkeeper there. And Hits takes a touch and then knocks it across to Hummels. And it's put under pressure there, but it seems like he got away with it, the German. And Guerrero is able to get it clear. It's now with Dortmund in the midfield here. And it's going to be knocked across to the right back again. And into Jude Bellingham in midfield there. And now it's back with Akanji again. And he's going to take a touch and then go back to Mats Hummels. He's going to try and get this one forward now. And that's a good turn there in the end. Did well there. And of course, the Bayern Munich side got through. Sorry, didn't get through yesterday, as I was just about to mention. So it's this. I think Borussia Dortmund, I believe, are the only German side left in the competition. So, of course, as I was mentioned before, it could be an all-English final, but Dortmund want to do it for Germany. And it's them in possession right now. And it is the midfielder there. In fact, it's now with Akanji, in fact. Coming up to the 10-minute mark, and he's going to whip it into the area. And it's good defended by Kyle Walker, who gets a head on it. And he's able to keep it in play and stop the corner as well. And cleared up field there towards Kevin De Bruyne, and well defended by Mats Hummels, who knocks it on to, I think that's Dahoud there, and on to Jude Bellingham now. Of course, the aggregate score 2-1 to Manchester City. Here's Akanji again now into Dahoud. So the right back there, was he caught? The referee says no, he wasn't, by Phil Foden, and the goalkeeper there, Ederson's able to get it clear under a bit of pressure from Haaland, and it's out of play for a throw-in in the Manchester City half, and Ederson kind of miscued that one out of play a little bit in his pink shirt, but he got away with it. It's gone out of play for a throw, and here's Akanji now into midfield there. Bellingham back to Akanji again. On to Mats Hummels now. Going to take a touch and then play it out to Rafael Guerrero. And then on just in front of him to, that's the Hood, is that? Couldn't quite see. It's now Ederson under pressure from Haaland, and he's able to clear it. It's a good touch there by Phil Foden. Back to Zinchenko now. Under pressure from Nauf. It's now Bellingham. There's Royce. Given away though. Here's Phil Foden now onto Gundogan. I think it was Rodri, in fact, there, and it's given away by Rodri. But it's well played there. Here's Gundogan now, and there's Riyad Mahrez battling with a couple of the Dortmund players. And it's all the way back to Hitz, the goalkeeper. It's now just with the Hood in the middle. And it's a good turn there from Emre Can as well, the former Liverpool man, to give the Hood the ball originally. And it's now Borussia Dortmund just playing it around at the back here. Here's Akanji now. Onto Bellingham into, I think that's a ball through towards Marco Reus there, and it's well claimed by Ederson. It was Emre Can, I believe, there, who tried to put the ball through. It's with Zinchenko now. And Zinchenko's going to turn and has to go back. Goes back to Ruben Diaz. On to John Stones now. And he's going to give it back to his centre-back partner again. Just about gets there in time. And it's now on to Zinchenko, as we mentioned earlier, preferred to the number 27 Cancelo today, who's only on the bench. And here is the Manchester City man. I think that's might be John Stones there. Onto his Rodri now, though. And it's back with John Stones again. He's going to try and switch the play. It's trying to knock it back. There's a Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker does keep it in. He gives it back to John Stones. And John Stones has to give it in to Gundogan there. Sorry, Rodri first of all. And then Gundogan's looking for it, but didn't get there. It's now with Gundogan now. And here's Silva. On to Kyle Walker now. Mahrez, I think, is in there as well. So it was Mahrez, in fact. And it's now with Ruben Diaz. And here's John Stones. And on to Kyle Walker now. And he's going to switch the play. And it's not able to be kept in there by Riyad Mahrez, the former Leicester City man. And as we are coming up to the 14th minute of the game, it's still remaining Borussia Dortmund 0, Manchester City 0. And the home side are in possession in their own half. Just outside their own penalty area, in fact. Here's Haaland now. Here's Bellingham. Switches the play. Over to Guerrero, on to Royce. Rafael Guerrero is on the overlap. He doesn't need to find him. He's gone into... Here's Guerrero now. Into the box he goes, trying to find Haaland. And it was cleared in the end by Ederson. Towards Phil Foden, who's battling well there. And it's put back by Akanji to his goalkeeper. There's a man down as well. But he's actually up to his feet pretty much straight away. The Dortmund right back that was, Marnie. And it's them in possession right now. In fact, just looking at a couple of stats for you in a moment as well, was Dortmund are in here. And it's with Erling Haaland up against John Stones. He's going to knock it back, and it's Jude Bellingham here. Bellingham, and he scored an absolute wonderful goal there. Ederson has got absolutely no chance. Jude Bellingham, the man that we touched on earlier, having a point to prove about that disallowed goal last week. And Russ, in his intro, said, he wonders if Jude Bellingham would actually go out there and want to prove a point today by getting himself a goal with, no controversy over it whatsoever. And my word, he's done just that. Ederson could not keep it out. And, the England international there was set up by Erling Haaland. And he's absolutely... I think it was De Hood, actually, who had the original shot, and it was blocked. And then it's gone out to Jude Bellingham there, and he's able to fire it past Ederson. Ederson gets the touch on it, not enough. And as we mentioned, Jude Bellingham had a point to prove, and he's got himself that goal which eluded him last week through the officials and the officials' mistake that was made. It's certainly not going to be looked at in any means whatsoever there. And Jude Bellingham has got himself a goal. That's his first goal in 10 matches as well. And Dortmund lead this one by 1-0. And of course, remember, the away goals rule is in place as well. And as things are standing, the Germans are going to be the side that go through to face off with PSG. So they lead this one by that Jude Bellingham goal to 0 there. And it is them in possession right now with Jude Bellingham just miscontrolling the play there. And it is, I think that's Ruben Diaz actually coming out now. Was it? Yeah, I think it was. Or John Stones, I couldn't quite see. And it's towards Kevin De Bruyne, and he couldn't do anything about that. So, yeah, Borussia Dortmund leading this game by 1-0 with the England man, Jude Bellingham, just scored just a moment ago. If you just joined us here on Football Commentary Live. Good finish as well. Goalkeeper Ederson got a hand to it, but he wasn't able to keep it out. It is Dortmund leading this game on the away goals rule now. It's them in possession. Here's Dahoud onto Bellingham now, the goal scorer. Out to Nauf now. Bellingham's got it back again. Here's Haaland now. There's an opportunity here to fire it a goal. Is it Royce? Good block there by Kyle Walker. And Dortmund are in the ascendancy at the moment. Kyle Walker looks a bit frustrated there for something. I don't know what it is, but Manchester City certainly at 6 Walker there. And behind for a corner ball. And it's Dortmund really looking to get a second goal and to go into the real ascendancy now. And it's whipped in onto the head of Akanji, I think that was. And it's straight at Ederson. He's done really well to come and claim that. And now he's got to try and bust the gut to get back the centre-back as well to stop Manchester City breaking. Here's Mahrez now. On to Silva. And it's Akanji there. And Hummels, between the pair of them, done very well to get it back to the goalkeeper. And, of course, it's going to slow it down a bit now. As I was going to mention before, in regards to some of these stats, on the 7 occasions that Dortmund have lost the first leg, they've been eliminated 6 of those times. The one exception being against Benfica when they lost 1-0, and then they were 4-0 winners and progressed 4-1 on aggregate back in 2016-17. And it's actually with Manchester City now, and it's Mahrez got it back as well. Going to have a shot there, well blocked by the Dortmund midfield. It's out with Zinchenko now, and the referee, I think he's blown up for a foul there. I'm not too sure where the foul was from. Or is it because, in fact, there might have even been another ball on the pitch. I couldn't quite see there. They're just trying to get a second ball, I believe. It might have been the ball was a little bit flat. I'm not too sure. But here's Diaz now onto Stones. Back to Diaz again. 19 played. Borussia Dortmund 1, Manchester City 0. Jude Bellingham's goal about 5 minutes ago. And it's Dortmund leading by the away goals rule, as mentioned. And there's Bellingham just now getting that one behind as well. Just showing his goal again. Did well to get it round the body of Ruben Diaz. And Ederson there got a hand to it, but he was only able to parry it into the back of the net. And Bellingham there celebrating with Royce and Haaland and Chan in that moment, as he made amends for last week and the decision there, of course. And it is now with Hummels, who knocks it clear. And it's onto Stones now, who goes back to goalkeeper Ederson. All in pink. And he knocks it on to Ruben Diaz. And Ruben Diaz is going to try and take the touches in. He's going to be forced to switch it across to the right side. So Kyle Walker now up against Marco Reus, and he's given the ball away there, in fact, quite sloppily, but he's got away with it. And it's now been knocked around. That was Rodri knocking it across to Reus as well. Not Reus, sorry, to Diaz, sorry, Ruben Diaz. It's good play there from Marnie. It's now given away though. Manchester City are in here, and it's Kevin De Bruyne on to back to De Bruyne again there. by Silva, and it's tidied up there nicely by the Dortmund back line on towards Haaland, and well defended by Ruben Diaz as well. On to Zinchenko now and into midfield to Gundogan. In fact, it's Rodri and then out to Walker. Gundogan was in an attacking option there if you wanted to use him, as was Silva as well, but they've gone out wide instead. Here's Riyad Mahrez now. There's Rodri now. It's with Gundogan. Back to Rodri again. On to Ruben Diaz now. And it's out with Zinchenko. Here's Ruben Diaz. Here's Gundogan. He's dropped back there. He's gone to Kyle Walker now. Almost coming up to halfway through this first half. It's still 1-0 to the home side. Jude Bellingham's goal. And it's Dortmund in possession now in their own half with Dahoud out to Royce and off of Dahoud for a Manchester City throw. And behind that, Kyle Walker's over it. And it's given to Silva now from Gundogan. Rodri lets it go through to Zinchenko though. On to Phil Foden. Going to knock it back here to Zinchenko now. Into Rodri and then on to Ruben Diaz there. On to Zinchenko now. It's Alexander Zinchenko again onto Gundogan now. And he's going to switch the play out to Kyle Walker, who keeps the ball in. And he gets the head on it and is up against Guerrero there and well defended. It's only as far as Mahrez though, and it's gone behind off of a Dortmund man for a corner ball. And an opportunity here for Manchester City to get this equalising goal that will see them back into the lead. And it's come off of, I think that came off of Emre Can possibly. I couldn't quite see who it was, but it's Riyad Mahrez over the corner. That I am sure of. Just about to be taken in a second now. Bit of pushing and shoving in there as well. But the referee said okay. And it's onto the head of, I think that was actually onto the head of Rodri there. And it's cannoned off the post via a deflection off a Borussia Dortmund head as well. And it's, I think it might have been Haaland there that saved his side. And it's now a second corner and it's Riyad Mahrez who is over this one. And that was very fortunate there. I think they were just talking to the official there as well. They said, yeah, there's a corner to be taken here by Riyad Mahrez now. Going to play it short. And he gets it back from Silva as well. And on to Phil Foden now. He's going to give it back. And it's an absolutely wayward shot there into the crowd. High and wide and very not so handsome at all by Kyle Walker. And that was a complete waste there from a Manchester City perspective. It was about 30 yards, maybe even 35 yards out, the England man. And absolutely never, ever going to trouble hits with that one. And the goalkeeper was pretty much, it was never going to target that goal. And it's now Dortmund clearing it upfield, and it's on towards Haaland now. Bellingham up against, I think that was Rodri, I believe, but it's now with Kyle Walker and John Stones. Coming up to the 25th minute here now in this game. We are, of course, watching it from home due to the pandemic as well. Of course, from our own personal studios, our own little areas of watching it. And it's now with Manchester City there. And here is, oh, that was unlucky there from Zinchenko. And they're claiming a penalty here at Manchester City as well. I think it was Bernardo Silva shoved to the floor by Marco Reus. And it looked like the referee was going to point to the spot for a moment, but in fact, he just pointed for a goal kick instead. I want to see the replay of that one. It was a great effort by Zinchenko. Got it back from Phil Foden as the ball was given away. Turned, smashed it off the crossbar there. And as Bernardo Silva was following in, it was, I'm trying to see who it was there now that possibly shoved him. I couldn't quite see. And it's now fired by Mahrez, and it's well blocked there by the Borussia Dortmund backline. And they've proved it clear it was Haaland. And it's now all the way back with John Stones and now Zinchenko. And he goes out to Phil Foden there and into Gundogan and on to Rodri as well. And here is Gundogan now. Back to Rodri again. On to Foden. Out to Zinchenko now. And he gives the ball across into midfield to Gundogan. And here is Silva. It's given away there by Manchester City, but they've got it back. Here's Diaz now, and here is Gundogan on to John Stones. Out to Kyle Walker now. And he's been forced back to John Stones and then into Gundogan. And across it goes to Rodri and into Zinchenko, I believe. Sorry, in fact, it's De Bruyne that time. It might have even been De Bruyne that hit the crossbar there. I couldn't quite see. Those two look very similar. But it might have been... I'll have to watch the replay back. But those two, they got very similar hair. And it is Zinchenko now and De Bruyne there, losing out in the battle in midfield. And Akanji knocks it back to Hummels. Out to Rafael Guerrero. And he takes a touch all the way back to Mats Hummels again. Of course, won the World Cup with Germany. And on to Akanji again. He's going to look up there to Haaland. Takes a touch. Bellingham in towards Haaland. And it's good defending there from Zinchenko. And hoof clear by Kyle Walker in the end. And in fact, it's Rodri getting it clear a second time as well to help out his man. And Pep Guardiola there just runs down a little bit and knocks the ball onto the Manchester City man for this throw on. But Bellingham is down at the moment with looks like a head injury for a collision there with Gundogan. And of course, the fact it's going to be looked at here for a head injury, it means that it's probably quite a serious one. I wanted to see that effort again. That was... just a minute ago, Phil Foden almost got on the end of that one, but it was a great save there from Hits there to deny what possibly would have been an own goal, in fact. Here's Zinchenko now. On to Gundogan. Back to Zinchenko again. He's going to give the ball there to Phil Foden. And Rodri's in. And he's fouled there as well, I believe, by Emre Can. Just going away from goal, but they do have a free kick here now in what seems to be a dangerous crossing position to the champions-elect of England. And it's going to be whipped in by Kevin De Bruyne, the Belgian international. It's a two-man wall. He's got to try and get it past if he wants to try and have a shot here. And there's certainly enough to aim for if he does as well, with the goalkeeper leaving a bit of space at his near post there. And in fact, he does try and go for a shot by the looks of it there, and it's gone behind off of a Dortmund head for a corner ball. I think it was off of Marco Reus, in fact. He was just in front of his goalkeeper there, and he headed that one behind. And it's looks like Kevin De Bruyne over this corner ball, I believe. Coming up to 30 minutes on the clock. And it is De Bruyne who's over it, in fact. And it's whipped in here. And it's eluded everyone and gone behind for a goal kick. And gives me just a minute to go through some stats for you again as well. Man City have progressed 13 out of 15 occasions in the knockout stages in major European football upon winning the first leg. Those two exceptions being in 1976 against Juventus, or 1976-77, sorry, and 2016-17 against Monaco as well in the UEFA Cup and Champions League, respectively, in that order. And in Champions League history, the side that have won the first leg 2-1 at home has been eliminated 15 times and progressed just 12. That's more than any other as well, I believe. And Dortmund's only previous meeting with Man City saw the Germans winning 1-0 in 2012. And of course, that is the current scoreline as it stands as well. And enough to see the German side going through to face off in the semis with PSG. And they've also lost a couple of times against Tottenham as well in the last matches against English opponents. although before that they'd done very, very well. And it's now with Zinchenko for Manchester City there, and towards Silva. It's cleared out by the Dortmund defender, and only as far as Mahrez. Come back to some more stats for you a little bit later. And here's Riyad Mahrez now. On to Ruben Diaz. He's going to just give it to Gundogan now. Switches the play across to Riyad Mahrez again. Into the box, and it is Phil Foden on the end of it. It's trying to find his man, and there's a man running in here, and it was actually Riyad Mahrez, I believe, and it was a good effort there, trying to squeeze the ball past Hitz, and it's come off the German goalkeeper there, and behind for another corner. He done well to get in behind there, did the former Leicester man, the Algerian, and in fact it did take a deflection off of Dortmund defender on the line as well, who done very well to help out his keeper there. Riyad Mahrez is over this now, this corner kick. It's whipped in, and it's very unlucky there from Manchester City's perspective, and just comes off of Emre Can and straight into the hands of Hitz again, and Chan's just trying to push his team forward. As the German goalkeeper there doesn't want to hit this one, he just wants to take his time over it. And now he does clear it down the field towards Haaland now. Here's a chance for Royce, on to Royce again from now, but it's given away there. And it's now Hummels. He's come out from defence a bit there now. Everyone seems to have pushed up a little bit from a Dortmund perspective now. Trying to see if they can kill this one off by getting another goal, and then, of course, Manchester City would have to come out and, at the very least, get a goal to take themselves into a position of going into extra time. And it's now a chance here for Dortmund again. Now they're on towards Royce. Good little flick as well. It was well defended by Ruben Diaz, I believe, and cleared there. And now it is Gundogan onto Silva. Mahrez is losing out there, and it's gone behind all the way through to Hummels. And Jude Bellingham's down at the moment, but he was only down for a second. Back on his feet again, and the Kanji there. So Hummels now, and back to Hitz now, the goalkeeper, and then on to Kanji again, on to Hummels now, centre back partner. Just simple balls at the moment for Dortmund. Another one there, just onto the goalkeeper as well. Just trying to play this one very short and simple, as they have again. Trying to build out from the back, and it's given away, but in fact, there's a free kick in there as well. A foul on John Stones there by Jude Bellingham. And it's a free kick here, just inside the Dortmund half. And John Stones there done well to intercepts, and Jude Bellingham went through the back of his man, and certainly was a free kick. And it's now with Kyle Walker, and he's got it back from Mahrez, and on to John Stones now, and Ruben Diaz as well. And it's going to be knocks around here. Just a moment to Zinchenko. And on to Kevin De Bruyne. On to Zinchenko again. And it's whipped in, and it's into the hands of Hitz there. The two blondes combining for Manchester City there, and the cross straight up into the air and dealt with comfortably by the Borussia Dortmund at number 35. And he's just going to play it out short to Hummels. We're about 10 minutes away from the halfway point of this game. And it's now with Akanji. He's given the ball away there at a very sloppy position. Very dangerous position as well. And it's now with De Bruyne. On to Kyle Walker now. He's given the ball away as well on the attack there. And it's now with Haaland. He's got a couple of Manchester City men surrounding him there. He's still got the ball as well. He's done very well. That's to beat about 3 Manchester City members. He's given the ball away, and it's now Bernardo Silva onto Phil Foden. A bit of space here for Zinchenko as well. It's going to be whipped in, and it's Gundogan has gone into the box here. It's well defended and hooked clear by Mats Hummels. And there's Ruben Diaz for Manchester City. The citizens are trying to find a way back into this one. And it is currently out on the left side with Zinchenko now. And here is Rodri. And Gundogan gives it in back again. They're just exchanging passes. Here's Zinchenko again now. There's Rodri. Ilkay Gundogan again. Is going to switch the play out to John Stones now. Onto De Bruyne. Back to John Stones. Onto Gundogan again. And it's in towards Zinchenko there. And it's gone behind off of a Dortmund man. And behind for a corner ball. Just want to see who that come off there. Couldn't quite see what player that was. That might have been... I'm not too sure. But anyway, it was certainly a corner off of Bowser. Moray Bowser. For number 2. And here is De Bruyne's, and it's a wasted corner, is it? No, it's kept in, and it's headed, up into the air there, Zinchenko, but only into the hands of Hitz, who just takes a long goal kick now, trying to find Nauf, and he's up against the Manchester City man now, and it was well defended by Phil Foden. It's now then in possession as well with Gundogan, and it's now with Rodri, and then out it goes to Bernardo Silva. He's going to go backwards. He's been forced back here now and on to Kyle Walker there from John Stones it was. And here's Ruben Diaz. Takes a touch, and it's now with Zinchenko, was it? Switches the play out to Mahrez. In fact, it was De Bruyne who switched the play out there, and he's got it back now as well. He's going to open his body up and has a shot there, and it's dragged wide off the goal. And no chance there for the Belgian to get that one on target. And 38 minutes played, and it is Borussia Dortmund still leading by that goal to 0. We're just showing this opportunity here just a moment ago as well, which I thought was very well dealt with by the goalkeeper. And this one here as well, which was almost an own goal by Bellingham. And Bellingham there celebrating that one even more than he celebrated scoring his goal. And it's now with Haaland on to Bellingham, on to Nauf now. You're going to try and whip this one in, and it's only into the hands of Ederson. Comes out and bowls it out to Phil Foden now. It's really well defended there by Borussia Dortmund, and in fact, it's gone behind for, it looked like a throw-in, but the referee's given a free kick here. And I think that's Jude Bellingham that's just gone into the book as well. He's certainly been very busy in the first 39 minutes of this game. It was him against Phil Foden there. In fact, if he's booked Bellingham there, it's not Bellingham that actually went through and fouled him. It was the other man. I think that's wrong in my opinion. I don't think Bellingham was the man that dived in. Bellingham was sort of more shoulder to shoulder. I think it was actually Dahoud who should probably have been the man that went in the book there for the second foul. I'm not too sure what the referee's done there. I think he's got that one wrong. Here is Manchester City though, trying to whip the ball across to Mahrez from, that was De Bruyne at that time. And here is Gundogan now. Here's De Bruyne. Whips it across towards the Manchester City man. Headed across by John Stones. Couldn't quite keep it in. And it's gone behind for what looks like a goal kick. And yeah, I'm just looking at that again. I certainly feel that it was the second decision there that was the yellow card one. Certainly not anything in Bellingham's one. That was more sort of a shoulder-to-shoulder decision. And very, very harsh there for Bellingham to get booked. I certainly think that the second foul was more, it might have even been Nauf there. The man it just showed on the screen. It might have been him with the second foul. That should have probably been the man in the book rather than the England international. The man who, of course, has scored the Dortmund goal as well. And it's with Mats Hummels now. About 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time of this first half. It is Dortmund still leading by that 0-0. And they were in possession there. And the referee, that was Gundogan up against Dahoud, I believe. And how was the other one a yellow card and not that one? You have to look at a bit of consistency, really, in the officials. And it might have even been, was it Dahoud? Yeah, I think it was Dahoud there. And the two number 8 colliding. And I thought that could have possibly been a yellow for Ilkay Gundogan there as well. But the referee doesn't agree with me. And he's let him walk away from that. And here is Dortmund in possession right now is Emre Can. Onto Akanji. Can take a touch, try and find his man as well in midfield. And it's an effort there blocked from the Dortmund midfielder, which was Dahoud again. And Man City just knocking it around at the moment. Was there a foul in there as well? The referee says yes, there was. And with around about 3 minutes to go of the 45, it's still Dortmund leading this one by a 0-0. And that was a good opportunity there to get an attempt at goal. And I think that would certainly troubled Ederson as well, with the bubble behind that, and not the bubble, so the sort of power behind that shot, I should say. It certainly jumped up for him nicely there, and he hit it very well. And it's now with Zinchenko. It's now Gundogan on to John Stones, and he's going to bring it out to Kyle Walker. Now he slips for a moment there, but he still got it across to his man. The two England men combining, and John Stones gets it back as well. Two men that Gareth Southgate will certainly be looking at bringing to the Euros in the summer. Here is the centre back again onto Ruben Diaz now. Out it goes to Zinchenko. And he goes into Gundogan. And on to Riyad Mahrez. Back to Gundogan again. And he goes back across to the left side to Zinchenko now. Up against Royce. But he shows it to go inside to Gundogan. And it's well defended there by Hummels. And Marco Royce just knocks it down to one of the, I think it was Moray there, who just smashes it clear. But only as far as John Stones there, and on by Rodri to Mahrez, and then it's now back with Silva in the midfield. Here's Gundogan. Out to Zinchenko now. Up against Marco Royce, who's given it away though. And it's hooked clear and out of play for a Manchester City throw by Jude Bellingham. That very busy midfielder that, as I mentioned on a number of occasions now, has been everywhere today. Got himself a goal, and also was also just got that one clear as well off the line from that Manchester City chance. And of course, he's got himself a yellow as well, so he's got to be careful in the second half. But he defended very well just a moment ago. And it's now Manchester City on the attack through Kyle Walker now. Back to Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez into the midfield where Ruben Diaz has moved into. And it's now on to Zinchenko. Is Kevin De Bruyne now. He's going to get it back, is he, from Gundogan? In fact, no, he's not. Gundogan goes to Rodri instead, and then on to John Stones and out to Walker now. And then he goes back to John Stones again, onto the midfielder Gundogan, and then Rodri on to Diaz. Diaz is going to take a touch there and try and play it forward, and it's well defended by Akanji. And Marco Royce gives it in back, and it's Akanji now. Just hooks that one clear towards Haaland, and he's lost out there as well as the Norway striker. Here's Ilkay Gundogan now, and there's Foden. It was given away when he was trying to find the ball, and it's now actually back with Phil Foden again. And here is Zinchenko now. There's Gundogan. He's going to try and get the ball across there, and the referee has decided there's not going to be any stoppage time whatsoever in this first half. And as it stands at the break, Jude Bellingham's goal is the difference. And Borussia Dortmund, as it stands at the moment, are going through to face PSG by away goals, with, of course, a very busy 45 minutes still to come as well, where there's, I'm sure, going to be plenty more talking points, plenty more action. But as it stands at half-time, it's Borussia Dortmund leading this game by a 1-0 and progressing as it stands as well to the semi-finals. So back over to you in your studio, Russ, and I will be back for the second half in around about 10 minutes' time.
Thank you very much there, Mike Ornament, and great first half commentary as well from Mike this evening. Dortmund lead by a 0 on the night, 2-2 on aggregate, but as Mike said, they currently lead on away goals in that game. Coming up, also at half time, is Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0, and from what I've been reading from that game while I've been listening to the coverage in this game this evening, Liverpool have had a few chances and failed to take them. Coming up here on Football Country Live, then tomorrow we've got some great coverage on the channel tomorrow, which I could tell you all about right now. Join myself from just before 7, from around about 6:45 tomorrow evening, as Rotherham United's one of the biggest games in the Championship season is against Coventry City, and the Millers will face commentary at the ASCL New York Stadium tomorrow night. I will bring you the commentary from that game as Rotherham United will look to get something out of the game tomorrow and be looking forward to getting that out or in action. Also tomorrow we've got live coverage of Slavia Prague versus Arsenal with Jack Cunningham, Mike Ornament presenting the coverage for that game tomorrow. And Rotherham United, big win for the Millers yesterday in the Championship against QPR. First time now the Millers have come from behind to win this season, and Rotherham United needed a win to climb out of the relegation zone, and they couldn't do it, could they? Rotherham, a lot of matches postponed due to COVID. Playing them all now. Got Coventry coming up on Thursday at the ASCL New York Stadium. They've then got Birmingham City on Saturday at the ASCL. On Sunday at the ASCL New York Stadium before Middlesbrough. Next Wednesday at the ASCL New York Stadium. They've also got Brentford away coming up just after they play Yorkshire Rovers Barnsley a week on Saturday the 24th of April. Before Blackburn Rovers, Luton Town and Cardiff City to round out the season. So some matches coming up for the Millers, and I must say, been impressed with what I've seen of the Millers. Remember today being impressed with what I've seen from Dortmund and Manchester City to an extent as well. Some good chances they have had, but we'll bring you the latest there. Just reading a bit here now, and apparently Jurgen Klopp will be happy with the performance despite the lack of goals. The Liverpool side will go again in the second half very, very soon. At the moment, it sounds like Liverpool are the better side in that first half. We're yet to break the deadlock in the trail 3-1 on aggregate. So if Real Madrid, so if Liverpool were to get 2 goals without conceding tonight, Liverpool would go through on away goals, as will Dortmund if the result stays as it is in this game right now. Away goal rule is what will send Dortmund through. Manchester City need a goal, and they know Dortmund don't come back if they are to get through. So if Man City were to score and it were to end 1-1, it would go. They would go through on away goal on aggregate by 3 goals to. If Dortmund were to win 2-1 tonight, We'll have an extra 30 minutes brought to us by Mike Orneman and fantastic first half coverage from Mike. Let's see what other football games have been happening today then, shall we? While it's half time in our featured match. One other game is the Australian A-League. Adelaide United 3-1 winners against Macarthur FC. As I mentioned, coming up on the channel tomorrow, we've got Slavia Pro versus Arsenal. We'll make sure we'll keep you up to date with Manchester United against Granada and the other matches in the Europa League quarter final. We'll bring you live coverage of Rotherham United against Coventry City. And we'll bring you the updates from Clyde versus Dumbarton, Partick Thistle Montrose, and Stranraer versus Stenhousemuir as well tomorrow. We'll bring you up to date with all of that as well tomorrow. So some good games coming up then. We're just watching back some of the highlights. We're just watching the Bellingham goal again here now. Fantastic ball over the top. Erling Haaland in behind. And he's having again going behind. John Stones, like Leeds, managed to get in behind Stones quite a few times. The shot was blocked. And then Bellingham carried it beautifully beyond Edison and beyond Ruben Diaz as well. It was a fantastic effort coming in, which was blocked, and then spent it beyond Ruben Diaz. And Edison did get a touch to it, but not enough to keep it out. But Dortmund, from what I saw leading up to that, have deserved their lead, and Manchester City can really get, as you saw at the weekend when Leeds United won as well. And Jude Bellingham is the youngest English UEFA Champions League scorers. Oxlade-Chamberlain was also on that list, among some other names. But Jude Bellingham, the youngest ever goal scorer in the Champions League, and my word, absolutely fantastic. And Manchester City had their chances as well. De Bruyne fired against the bar. Got a bar in person, and Bernardo Silva headed wide. Another chance for Kevin De Bruyne, who got to the ball and put it across looking for Phil Foden, but couldn't get it to him. Manchester City having plenty of chances. Another one where Morris played the ball in for Phil Foden, but couldn't take that chance where Morris with a shot blocked. But at the half time, it's Dortmund who were leading, and I think the Dortmund boss would be the happier of the two managers heading Terzic. One, because they're winning and heading through at the moment, but because when Man City have attacked, they're going behind the defence of Akanji, Hummels, Guerrero, Mori at the back and force blocks in there if they've got behind, they've managed to get blocks in, but also because the way they've defended, the goalkeeper, it's just performed well there. So, but the goal again, it was a fantastic effort from Daoud, whose shot was blocked, and then Bellingham carried it to him. The fantastic finish from the English youngster as well, and Jude Bellingham, youngest ever Champions League goal scorer. So congratulations to him. Hopefully doing okay. If you want to listen to any other commentaries that we've done as well, just head over to our Twitter feed. Commentary Live 1 is where you can listen to them. Also, why not visit our Facebook page? The best way to follow Football Commentary Live, go to facebook.com/footcomlive. You are currently listening to the home of alternative commentary, Football Commentary Live. If you want to message us and let us know what you think the score is going to be in this game, or anything you can, when you see if you go onto either Periscope via the Twitter feed, which you can watch it on there, or via the Twitch, or via YouTube as well, for any of those platforms, get your comments in. They'll come through to us here in the studio, and we'll get those in for you as well. Mike Orneman is around as well, just been looking through the performance, some of the chances there. Mike, some fantastic efforts from both teams. And Mike, would you agree with what I said? Whereas I mentioned a few moments ago, where I said Man City, they've gone behind the back line of Borussia Dortmund, but more Akanji, Hummels, Guerrero, it's as well, and to a certain extent, Chan and Daoud getting back along with Bellingham as well, putting the bodies on the line. And as I said, Mike, I think Edin Terzic, the Dortmund manager, would be the happier of the two, despite Man City cutting through them. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, so I think Dortmund are certainly going to be very pleased with that first half performance. I think Jude Bellingham so far has been the stand-up man for me. I think he's got himself a goal, really well taken finish as well, past the defender Ruben Diaz, and of course past the goalkeeper Ederson, and he's got that one off the line as well, helping out his goalkeeper. He's been getting his body in, he's been getting stuck in as well, and I think that Manchester City have really got to try and win the midfield battle to try and get through in this tie now. Because, in my opinion, Jude Bellingham has had an exceptional first half. And if I was going, giving my man of the match based on 45 minutes rather than 90 minutes, it would be Jude Bellingham all day long.
Yes, I did mention that he's played well today. Jude Bellingham said he took his goal well when I started getting at half time. Good effort from Dude initially, which so again Bob, but the way he come back to him, his composure when the ball came back is to take a touch and then bend it beyond Ruben Diaz and so maybe Mike, if you look at it as well, not taking anything away from the strike by Jude Bellingham or the build up and how it came about from Dortmund's perspective, but you've got to say Ederson going hand on to that. I think Ederson needs to be a bit stronger in that position. Yes, he's going hand to it, but getting hand on to it, be stronger and push it out for a corner rather than trying to
Well,
tip it.
what I will say there as well, what I will say is if you look at the positioning of Ruben Diaz, it looks like he's kind of trying to. It looks like he's sort of turned to the side a bit. He's kind of turned his back on it. And as soon as you do that as a defender, you're in trouble.
Correct, Mike. He did look like that to me as well at the time when he tapping and I went and I wasn't sure if he was that way. So when I started getting the interview, it looked like that as well. So I think he's going to be very interesting. To see how Man City do. If you were Pep Guardiola now at half time, losing 1-0 on the night, losing on the away goals, need a goal to make sure you get through tonight. Maybe get 2 goals to get that bit of comfort in there. So if they get 2, Roman will then need to score another 2 to make it 3-2 to go through overall.
Yeah.
If you're Pep Guardiola tonight, you've got the likes of Fernandinho, you've got João Cancelo, Mendy, Ferran Torres. You've also got Sterling, Jesus, as well as Torres on the bench tonight. I know I mentioned Fernandinho and Cancelo, but they can get forward and create and have shots as well. If you were Pep Guardiola, how long would you give it? And what sort of changes would you make as well?
Based on that first half performance and the way things have been going, I'd probably give it 10, 15 minutes, maybe, something like that. And then look at maybe bringing on Raheem Sterling and Gabriel Jesus to really try and target at the Dortmund back line. And I think that's what you have to do, really. Maybe give it, 10, 15 minutes. But I can see possibly even the fact that the game is going in the favour of Dortmund at the moment, and Man City are trailing this game and going out at the moment. There might even be a change at half time. I wouldn't be surprised if there was.
Yes, it'd be interesting to see what Pep Guardiola has decided to do, whether he's at the top to make for a change at half time or whether he's decided to make a change or like Mike said, leave it 5 to 10 minutes or so into the second half. The players are just making their way back out. Manchester City already back out onto the field of play, looking from there. De Bruyne's still out there. Mike, I'm just looking to see if I can spot any changes of note. Yeah, Bernardo Silva's there. John Stones on the picture as well. So there's, at the moment, there's not really note of any real changes for Manchester City in this at half time. Edison's still in goal, obviously. I
Yeah.
didn't think he'd change his goalkeeper. So are you surprised there's no changes to the half time, Mike, or would you still stick with what you said a couple of minutes ago?
Yeah, let's give it 10, 15 minutes and as I said, it wouldn't have surprised me if they made a couple of changes at half time or made a change at half time. But Pep Guardiola obviously has decided he wants to give it a little while and then go from there. And he's got options on the bench, and of course, so do Dortmund as well. If you look at their side, they've got Hazard on the bench. They've got a couple of other players on the bench so that they could even bring on themselves as well. But yeah, I do see a couple of changes coming relatively soon for Manchester City, but yeah, probably not for a little while yet, as they are just showing Jadon Sancho having a discussion there with Pep Guardiola as well, just a moment ago, and Jude Bellingham there is going around high-fiving Emre Can, and he looks up for this second half as well, and we'll bring you a full second half coverage. I think the game's going to be getting underway again in a second. It looks like Man City is just about to kick off now.
Yes, we'll hand over to my cornerman for the second half.
Cheers, Russ. Thank you. And it is Manchester City just about to get us underway right now. And it looks like there is Kevin De Bruyne just taking that one. No changes for either side at the break, by the looks of things as well. And it is with Borussia Dortmund here in midfield. And it's Jude Bellingham on to Erling Haaland, the Norway international, on to the man Marco Reus there as well. And it's now with Manchester City though, and it's De Bruyne. Was he held back there? Yes, he was, by Moray. And it looks like it's going to be not a yellow card. I thought it was going to be a yellow there for a moment, but Kevin De Bruyne certainly wanted one. The referee said no, though. It's not a yellow card offence. And just bear with me a moment whilst I get the information in front of me again. It was Moray there, and it is no yellow. So I haven't got to worry about anything there. And it's Kevin De Bruyne over the free kick. And he's going to whip it in, and it's straight into the hands of Hitz, who comes out and claims very, very well, as Borussia Dortmund are still leading this game by a 1-0. And, of course, going through as it stands on the away goals rule as well. And there's now onto Haaland into the Hood. There's an offside flag up there, though, and Rodri gives the ball into Gundogan. And here is Diaz now. Out he goes to Zinchenko and on to Phil Foden. Gundogan on to Diaz again. Into Gundogan, out to John Stones now. Former Everton man. On to Kyle Walker and back to Stones again. Going to take a touch and go into midfield to Gundogan there, and then on to Ruben Diaz, and then to De Bruyne. Diaz again. And it goes out to Zinchenko. And here's Phil Foden now. And Gundogan, there's De Bruyne. Good little flick there. Phil Foden couldn't quite get on the end of it, but Man City keep possession here with De Bruyne again. Zinchenko now. Gundogan. Foden. Zinchenko. De Bruyne, has he won the corner there as well? It looks like he has. And the referee agrees. So that has gone behind off of Murray there. And out of play for an early Manchester City corner in the second half. And it is the Belgian Kevin De Bruyne once again over it as well. Emre Can on this near post here, trying to defend that for Dortmund. It's going to be whipped in by Kevin De Bruyne in a second now. And it's in there now, and it's headed clear and away from danger by Haaland there. Now play for another corner. The Norway international defending his lines very well there. Still awaiting a goal, though, as well. He hasn't scored again today so far, but there is still time. And it's going to be whipped in once again by Kevin De Bruyne for another corner ball. And the referee is just pointing out something here with a Dortmund man. I think it's Haaland, in fact, he was just speaking to there. He's keeping an eye on them. But the corner's come in by De Bruyne. And it's well defended there by the Dortmund man at the near post. But only as far as Foden. Here's Gundogan. And back to the England man again, Phil Foden now. It's up in the air. And it's going to be a shot here, is it, by Stones? Well, blocked in the end by Dortmund's Akanji that time. And here's Kyle Walker now. On to Phil Foden, who's just come out to the left-hand side. And Gundogan. There's De Bruyne now on to Foden again. It's Zinchenko now. Here's Gundogan. Touched by Rodri onto Walker now. Out to Silva. And he plays the ball into Rodri. Tries to whip it in. It's well defended by Hummels. And a chance here for Silva now. Into the box he goes. Bernardo Silva. It's well defended there by the back line of Dortmund and hook clear in the end. By Nauf there towards Haaland. There's a bit of a wrestling match between him and John Stones. And the referee has given a free kick in favour of the big number 9 there. The Norway and Dortmund striker. It looked like there was a hand around his head there from John Stones, and the Norway man got up complaining a little bit, but he's in possession now anyway. And here's the Hood, and out it goes, given away in fact by them to Phil Foden now. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. And Kevin De Bruyne is cutting inside. He's going to give the ball across to Riyad Mahrez now. Riyad Mahrez into midfield. Here's Ilkay Gundogan now. Out he goes to the left side to Zinchenko. Trying to take it around his man. He whips the ball in and it's parried over the top of the goal there by Hitz. Had to get his hand on that one, and he's able to get the ball over his own net there and away from danger for another Manchester City corner ball. It was actually dipping as well. We could have actually dipped in off the bar there. It was a very dangerous attempt, and the goalkeeper had to be very alert there to turn that one away from danger, because I did look like he was heading in. And here is Foden now from De Bruyne's corner. De Bruyne again. And it's come back off of the Borussia Dortmund man. I think that was possibly Jude Bellingham. I couldn't quite see. It's now with Gundogan. There's Foden. There's Silva. Here's Rodri now. It's now Zinchenko. Rodri in possession again. On to Foden. Chance. Good play there from Manchester City. They're in here as well. It's Phil Foden now. That's good. Oh, what's the referee giving here? The referee has pointed. Has he pointed for a penalty kick here? Let's see. Emre Can is complaining to the referee about something. It looked like, off of Moray's hand, not off Moray's hand, sorry, off of Chan's hand here, head to hand. And it looks like, let's have a look at this again. It's come off his head and he's headed it onto his hand there. And it looks like the referee here, the Spanish referee, has actually given the penalty kick by the looks of it. And Manchester City, 52 minutes on the clock, have an opportunity here to get the game level on the night and to go back into the ascendancy and go ahead. They are looking at it with VAR. Riyad Mahrez at the moment has got the ball on the spot, but you can't be doing that. Yes, you're heading the ball away, but your hand's out, and I think that's going to be a penalty all day long. I think Manchester City have an opportunity here to put this one back in their favour. I'm just going to have a look at what's happening here. Is it still being looked at with VAR? I believe it is. It's either Mahrez or De Bruyne who are going to take the penalty, by the way. They're still checking it right now for the potential penalty, but I believe that this is probably going to be given. And as much as Emre Can's shaking his head and looks a bit disappointed and a bit annoyed, I can see this one being given. And Bernardo Silva and Can are having a conversation there just a moment ago. But I think there's a real opportunity here that this could be a penalty for Manchester City. And the referee is just going over to get the ball, I think, now, is he? I think he's actually given a penalty. Emre Can there. He's got his head in hands, like the referee is going to give this. We will find out in a moment. Looks like the goalkeeper Hitz is getting ready just in case the penalty is going to be given. He seems to be quite sort of resigned to the fact he's going to be facing Mahrez here, and he is indeed by the looks of it. And it's Riyad Mahrez, the Algerian, up against Hitz here to give Manchester City a leveler on the night and put them 3-2 up from this penalty kick here in the tie. Good opportunity here for the Algerian Mahrez, and it's into the back of the net. Riyad Mahrez is jumping around in celebration there as well. And Manchester City are level on the night out in Germany and are leading 3-2 now. Riyad Mahrez, great penalty as well. Goalkeeper went the right way, but the shot had plenty of power and pace to beat him. And the Algerian has given Manchester City their equaliser on the night. And they're, of course, 3-2 on aggregate now. And currently it's them going through in this tie now to face off with PSG in the semis. It's a great penalty as well there. Goalkeeper had no chance. And Riyad Mahrez, the Algerian, beautiful penalty. First goal in 9 matches for the Manchester City, number 26. And it's them who are now level and in the ascendancy of the game. And it's now with Akanji on to Hummels. And out it goes to Rafael Guerrero. And the time of that goal was about 54 minutes, I believe. 55 minutes, in fact. So still time for Dortmund. Plenty of time, of course. And of course, there's one more goal in their favour, and it will go to extra time. So let's see what Dortmund can do now and how they can bounce back from that penalty there that Emre Can, the former Liverpool man, gave away. And it's cleared there by Emre Can, that man I was just talking about. Out of play for a throw-in to Manchester City. And the Dortmund manager there looks very frustrated at that decision. But as I said at the time, it certainly looked like the penalty was the right call. And the referee and his officials agreed with me as well in terms of VAR, etc. Here's Zinchenko now. Onto Rodri. Zinchenko back to Ruben Diaz and then back to goalkeeper Ederson. And now we have to look at what Dortmund might be able to do on the bench. Of course, they've got Torgan Hazard. They've got Julian Brandt as well. 2 players that, for them, attacking threats. Of course, Thomas Meunier as well, if they want to bring on somebody else, more a sort of right wing back. They've got options, that's for sure. But, it'd be interesting to see what Dortmund can do with turning this game in their favour now. As Manchester City have possession through John Stones. And he goes to Ilkay Gundogan. And on it goes to Kyle Walker. And here is Bernardo Silva now. And on to De Bruyne via Rodri. And then it's out towards Silva. But he couldn't quite keep it in. The ball's gone out of play. 57 played. Dortmund 1, Manchester City 1. Jude Bellingham scoring in the first half for Borussia Dortmund. And equaliser just coming a moment ago from the penalty spot for Riyad Mahrez. Here's Kevin De Bruyne now. As City look to get on the ascendancy. It's De Bruyne, and he's claiming a foul there as well. It did look like his legs were took from underneath him as he was about to get that shot away. But it took a deflection, has gone behind for a corner. But even there, it looked like Borussia Dortmund were a bit fortunate there. I think it was Marco Reus just shoving De Bruyne outside the box. And that could have easily been a free kick there. The referee decided not to give it on that occasion, though. It's gone behind for a corner. Phil Foden over it. The England international. He's going to whip this one in onto the head of... that was Gundogan now, and it's had to be parried up off the line by hits there, but I think there's an offside in there anyway. So the German side are a bit fortunate, but they dealt with it well enough anyway. It was actually going to bounce in, I think. Yeah, we probably would have bounced in off the underside of the crossbar, but it was an offside anyway. And here is Emre Can now for Dortmund. His Hummels. Almost 60 minutes played, still 1-1. Here's Akanji now, and he's going to play it into midfield. There's a turn there from Nauf, and out he goes to Guerrero. And on to Royce, and then back to Guerrero again. Then on to Hummels, and then on to Akanji. It's going to go across to the opposite side to Rafael Guerrero again. And here's Marco Reus now. Been forced to go back to his goalkeeper though, hits. And he's going to take a touch and then play it out to one of his centre-backs, Mats Hummels now. And he plays the ball into midfield. And chance for Dortmund here. Erling Haaland now. He's going to give the ball to Marco Reus. Into De Hood. De Hood is going to get an effort in there. It's well blocked by Rodri. I think that was there from Manchester City. And hook clear towards Kevin De Bruyne now. Up against Akanji. De Bruyne wins his battle. It's gone behind off of Akanji for a Manchester City throw-in, which De Bruyne has taken quickly and given to Ilkay Gundogan now. Of course, Manchester City trying to see what they can do here to bounce back from that shock Premier League defeat at home to Leeds United on the weekend in the game that took place at the Etihad Stadium. Dortmund themselves, as Russ mentioned earlier, got a 3-2 victory in the Bundesliga on the back of course, last week's fixture, which saw the Manchester City side go 2-1 up in the first leg of this tie. Here's De Hood now. He's done well to get away from two men there. He switches the play to Nauf, and on it goes to Erling Haaland. That's good defended by John Stones out to Zinchenko. Here is Rodri now. In fact, it was actually Gundogan out to Phil Foden. Phil Foden is going to try and give the ball into Silva, which he does, onto Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez into the box he goes. It's gone, but it's gone up for a Dortmund defender there and into the hands of the goalkeeper. And just going to have a look here if there's going to be any subs anytime soon. It doesn't look like there will be at the moment, although it's going to be probably Dortmund that will probably have to make the first blood now in terms of substitutions. There's a Akanji out to Morey. And back to Akanji again. And then on to Hummels now. And then out he goes to his centre-back partner. And then he goes to midfield now. And Jude Bellingham there back to Akanji again. And then it goes to Hummels and on to nobody. Like he was trying to find Marco Reus there, but it was too much on that ball. Went all the way through to Ederson. And here is Zinchenko now. Plays the ball into De Bruyne. Zinchenko gets it back and he goes back to Ruben Diaz now. Zinchenko into De Bruyne. Back to Zinchenko. Here's Rodri. Here's Gundogan. Rodri. Stones. Walker. Kyle Walker. On the overlap he's going. He's trying to take it round Marco Reus. He's done well. He's got past a couple of men there. Marco Reus looked like he shoved him in the back, but the referee said no. And Rafael Guerrero as well was also another man there that helped out Marco Reus. And it's gone behind for a throw into Dortmund, which that man is going to be taking. The number 13. He's playing obviously at left back for Dortmund. He's got it back now with De Hood. And De Hood tries to play it to Hummels there, and it's a bit of sloppy play from Dortmund. There's Chan. Dortmund playing it around very sloppily at the back there. Here's Nauf now. It's hooked back by Zinchenko to Ederson. And even just looking there, that was very fortunate from Dortmund. There was 4 or 5 opportunities for Man City to get in, and they certainly got lucky there on a number of those moves and those opportunities. Rodri now to Stones. Gundogan. Zinchenko. On to Foden. Given away. There's Nauf. There's Bellingham. There's Morey. Morey again. Looks like he was fouled, does it, as well, by Silva. There's a bit of something here between Bellingham and Ilkay Gundogan. Haaland's trying to get involved, and so is De Bruyne to kind of keep the peace a bit. Gundogan there looked very unhappy with something that Bellingham did. Of course, Bellingham's on a yellow as well from the first half. And I just want to see what happened here. Gundogan pushed him, and then he's pushed him again. Bellingham looks around, and Bellingham hasn't done anything wrong there. But Ilkay Gundogan shoved Bellingham twice there. And it looks like he's not going to get away. He's going to get away, sorry, I should say, without a booking as well, which is very, very fortunate for the Manchester City number 8. Here's Moray now back. So it's actually Akanji. Back to goalkeeper hits, and on it goes to Hummels. Back to hits again, and ball just about made it to him there ahead of Bernardo Silva. Coming up to 65 played. Still Borussia Dortmund and Manchester City remaining as a 1-1 scoreline. Bellingham scoring the goal for Borussia Dortmund in the first half and then being cancelled out about 10 minutes or so ago by the penalty there for Riyad Mahrez after Emre Can handled the ball. It's now with Guerrero on to Dahoud. Going to get it back, is he, from Emre Can, but it's given away. It's De Bruyne now. On it goes to Man City's midfielder Rodri. Silva lets it roll to Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez now. Riyad Mahrez, body's going to open up, and it's fired wide there by Gundogan, and not troubling the goalkeeper. 65 played. Dortmund 1, Manchester City 1. City leading 3-2 on aggregate. To show that handball again as well. It certainly was off his head and then onto his arm. So you can't really, complain too much about that. Of course, the next couple of games for Manchester City, they have a very big semi-final against Chelsea in the FA Cup at the weekend still to play before they also have a couple of other really important games as well, which I'll get onto in a moment. Here's Silva now on to Rodri, on to De Bruyne, back to Rodri again. Here is John Stones now. The rest of those games are Aston Villa away, also Tottenham in the Carabao Cup final as well, away to Palace, and then they're going to round out the next 5 at home to Chelsea. So some very busy period for Manchester City there, and also plenty of games to play of importance, including the remainder of this one. And then, of course, Saturday against Chelsea, very important as well, as is the Carabao Cup final against Tottenham, which takes place on the 25th. And as for Borussia Dortmund, their remaining 5 games, next 5 games, I should say, are Werder Bremen at home, Union Berlin at home, Wolfsburg away, Leipzig at home, and Mainz away in their next 5 league games. They're all league games, I believe, for the Germans. It's Man City in possession now with Phil Foden. There's Rodri now. On to Bernardo Silva. Knocks it back to John Stones. Back to Silva again. There's Rodri now. On to Stones. On to Mahrez. On the overlap is Kyle Walker. Riyad Mahrez is trying to do some trickery and get round the man on his own, though. And Emre Can stood up to him firmly and done very well there. And here's Rafael Guerrero. He's given the ball into midfield to Jude Bellingham there. Here's Haaland, back to Bellingham again. There's Marco Reus there, done really good move that for Dortmund at the moment. There's Bellingham there. He's giving it away though to Rodri, but the referee has blown up for a free kick. And Bernardo Silva, in fact, is the man that caught the England international there, who Russ mentioned at half-time, is currently the youngest ever player to score in the Champions League. And we've got a substitution already as well in favour of... Who is this in favour of? It's Reina, the number 32 that's come on for Dortmund. And he has replaced the number 36, Ansgar Nauf. It's been a little bit quiet today, if I'm completely honest. And that's Reina on in his place. So that's number 32 there. On for the number 36. There's a free kick here for Dortmund now. Whipped in. It's headed. Oh, over the bar there. That was very unlucky for Mats Hummels. Whipped in. Mats Hummels on the end of it. And that was super, super close from the German. Good delivery from Marco Reus. And Mats Hummels up from the back. And just gets his head on that one. Looks like Haaland was shoved in the back maybe as well. And it's over the bar there. And you even see Nauf there. He's only just come off a minute ago. with his head in his hands after that one, thinking that his side might have been back ahead. And of course, it's the only time that the game will go to extra time if the Germans of Dortmund get a 2-1 win over the 90 minutes as well. Here is Ederson now. Plays it out to Zinchenko. Got Kevin De Bruyne in support. Zinchenko to Gundogan now. On to Silva. Rodri. There's Kyle Walker. Back to Rodri it goes again. Silva. On to Rodri another time now. Back to Gundogan. Neat little triangles in midfield here now from Manchester City. Here's the goal scorer for them, the Algerian Mahrez. Here's Walker. Rodri there. On to Diaz. Here's Ilkay Gundogan. In possession now, I should say, sorry. No, Rodri, sorry. Here's Walker now. Silva. Back it goes to John Stones, and across it goes to Ruben Diaz. 20 minutes of this one remaining. Still 1-1. It's Foden onto De Bruyne. Out to Zinchenko. Wasn't able to keep it in, and it's gone behind for what looks like a Manchester City throw-in. I think there's a deflection in there. Didn't quite see who it come off of, though. And it's Zinchenko over the throw. Here's De Bruyne now. Zinchenko again. Foden. Zinchenko. Gundogan. Walker. Silva. Mahrez now in possession. Kyle Walker again. There's Riyad Mahrez. There's Rodri. Gundogan. John Stones. Ruben Diaz. Alexander Zinchenko. Out it goes to Kevin De Bruyne now. Manchester City just playing it around in triangles here, trying to break down Borussia Dortmund, trying to tire them out. Here's Zinchenko now. Ruben Diaz. There's Foden. He's giving the ball away there as well. Dangerous area for Dortmund now. Foden giving the ball away there. It's Akanji now. Mats Hummels. Akanji again. 19 or so minutes to go for Borussia Dortmund to get that all-important goal to see this one into extra time. Here's Hummels now. Gone behind for a Man City throw-in. There's actually a Dortmund throw-in, I should say. And it's given away now, though. Here's Foden. On to Zinchenko. Gundogan. Back it goes to Ederson now. Ederson is going to take a touch and take his time a little bit now. Of course, Manchester City, as we mentioned, they've got some very important games still to play, as do Dortmund as well, which we already mentioned too. And of course, Dortmund, as we said, 19 points behind leaders Bayern. They're 14 points behind second place Leipzig as well. They're 8 points behind Wolfsburg, and then 7 points behind Frankfurt, who are the team directly above them in fourth. Man City, of course, 11 clear of Man United. They only need, I believe, 3 wins to confirm the Premier League title. Back to this action in the Champions League, though. Here's Gundogan now for City. Out it goes to Zinchenko. There's De Bruyne now. Foden. De Bruyne. Tried to find Zinchenko there, but completely miscued that one out of play for a Dortmund throw-in. And it's them in possession now. Bellingham. It's Guerrero. And it's back. Guerrero, sorry. And it's now back with Akanji. And here's Hummels. Out it goes to... Sorry, not Guerrero. That was actually Morey on the other side, I should say. And then it was with Guerrero eventually. So if we're switching the play quite quickly around at the back. And it's now with Borussia Dortmund's Jude Bellingham now, the goal scorer for them, who's got their first goal of this game. And it was Morey trying to feed the ball through, and it's given away. And it's now with Gundogan on to De Bruyne, and a bit of space as well up against Emre Can. Beats his man here. It's 3-on-3 for a minute. It's De Bruyne. De Bruyne, good save by Hitz. got down well to parry that one behind for a corner. And for a minute there, it looked like De Bruyne made the wrong choice. He had 2 men in support, and he could have easily slid it into one of them. And then it certainly would have been 2-1 to Manchester City there. De Bruyne got a good effort away, though, and it's parried really well behind and out of danger by the goalkeeper hits. Corner here for Man City, though. There's a substitution for Dortmund as Torgan Hazard has entered the fray as well. I'll let you know who for in a moment. Here's Foden now. Foden's effort. Oh, and it's in. Phil Foden has given Manchester City the lead. They are now leading by 2 goals in this tie. And it's all to do now for Borussia Dortmund. They've got to come out and really fire in. Torgan Hazard's just come on just a moment ago as well. And Marco Reus there looks frustrated, shaking his head. And that effort there from Phil Foden. Cannons off the post and into the back of the net. Man City lead by 2-1. Phil Foden scores against the Germans again. And good effort off the post. Beat the goalkeeper hits. And into the back of the net. Manchester City 2-1 up on the night. 4-2 up on aggregate. And Dortmund have it all to do now. Good effort as well. Just looking there. Goalkeeper hits. Might have been able to do a little bit better. And he's run over to his manager in support there. And Walker jumps over in there as well. And Phil Foden gets himself his 3rd goal in 10 for Manchester City. And they are very much, as it stands, looking likely to be heading through to face off in the semi-finals against PSG in another cracking tie. Didn't even get a chance to see who Hazard come on for. That was literally straight away. He was brought on and the goal went in. So I'll have to let you know in a second. Torgan Hazard come on just a moment ago for Borussia Dortmund. And he come on just about to tell me now in place of Mahmoud Dahoud. And he's got a lot of work to do now, the Belgian. Of course, he had a great game last time that Belgium played. I think it was when they beat Wales. Did they beat Wales, I believe, in fact. It was exceptional on that game. And Zinchenko just fouling his man as well now. 14 to go. Dortmund 1, Manchester City 2. That's why I'm not a manager, saying about bringing on Sterling and Gabriel Jesus. Well, Pep Guardiola didn't need to. The men on the field have done it for him as it stands at the moment. The chance here is a free kick is there as well for Borussia Dortmund now. They really have to get the next goal to have any chance here. That was Ruben Diaz fouling his man there. In fact, I think that was Reina, the first substitute that come on earlier. There's an opportunity here now for Dortmund to get a goal back. And they really need to get the next goal, as I just said. Marco Reus is over this one. In fact, he's stepping away from it. He's leaving it for, I think, Reina's over it, in fact, now. And it's going to be whipped in here from the Dortmund man. He's got a number of bodies in the box. It's whipped in. It's headed clear by Kevin De Bruyne and away from danger. Out of play for a throw there. It's Rafael Guerrero. In fact, he took the free kick. He's going to take the throw in as well. No, he's not. He's going to leave it. And it's thrown to Akanji and on to Mats Hummels. And he's been chased down by Bernardo Silva and he's been forced back to his keeper. And hits has come out and kind of playing in the sweeper role now. Knocks it back to Akanji and on to Murray. I'm trying to find the ball into midfield, but it's given away now. Here's Jude Bellingham now. There's Marco Reus given away. Here's Haaland, Erling Haaland on to Hazard now. Out to Guerrero. It's well defended by Mahrez. Here's Silva. Gives the ball to Mahrez again. Back it goes to Rodri. Into Kevin De Bruyne. Into Gundogan. Out it goes to Foden. Back to Gundogan again. Now Zinchenko. Gundogan. De Bruyne. Zinchenko. De Bruyne again. There's Gundogan now. Zinchenko, De Bruyne. And it's now with Diaz. There's Zinchenko again. And Manchester City might want to look at maybe wasting some time shortly and bringing on some defensive subs. Here's Bernardo Silva now. Out it goes to Kyle Walker. On to Stones. De Bruyne, Stones. Walker, Stones. Looks like they're going to be a third and final couple of subs here for Dortmund now. It's a couple of men coming on. I think one of them might have been Julian Brandt, I think. I couldn't quite see who the other was, though. It's given away. Here's Haaland now. Erling Haaland fires it, and it's wayward there. Not troubling the goalkeeper there for Manchester City, and the Norwegian striker. It was given a bit of space there. Done well, did Haaland to get the shot away, but it was well blocked and well miscued in the end. And there's Bellingham coming off now to be replaced for Borussia Dortmund by Julian Brandt, as I just mentioned a moment ago. And the other sub coming on is, let's have a look. I think it's the number 27, Stefan Tigges, on to replace Matteo Murray. So that's Tigges on. The number 27. Manchester City still not made any subs yet. They don't need to if they're ahead, though, I suppose. Here's Phil Foden now. Back it goes to Zinchenko. On to Rodri, Gundogan, De Bruyne, Zinchenko now. On to De Bruyne again. Couple in the box here. Oh, and it's Akanji there. Just flicks his foot and flicks it away. And only as far as Mahrez just lets it roll out of play for a throw-in. 9 or so minutes to go in this game. Manchester City leading this one by 2-1, as they won the game last week by the same scoreline as well, remember. It looks like it's going to be an uphill task now for Dortmund in the remainder of this game. Good comeback from Man City after going 1-0 down as well. Here's Zinchenko now. It's opened up for a shot and it's fired at. The goalkeeper hits and it's done very well to get that clear now. Here's Diaz. Zinchenko again. There's Manchester City just playing it around at the back. Ederson's got possession now. Be a big morale boosting win to take to the FA Cup semi-final here if City hold on. There's now Ruben Diaz. Chance for... Who was that to get in? I couldn't quite see. It might have been Julian Brandt, in fact. It's now with Manchester City. It's bowled out towards Silva. Up to Mahrez. Kyle Walker's on the overlap. He uses him as well. Kyle Walker wins the corner off of Akanji there. 7 and a bit minutes to go. City still leading by 2-1. Akanji to Hummels. Of course, Manchester City leading the Premier League, leading here as well. Going for that quadruple with the FA Cup and also the Carabao Cup final still to play. Here's Haaland. On to Brandt now. Chance here for... Oh, that was... I think that was one of the substitutes, Reina. I think he's got it back as well. Back it goes to Chan. Hummels. Well defended there by the Manchester City defender Zinchenko. Here's Gundogan now. And De Bruyne. Just slowly taking it past his man there and into the sort of dangerous area he goes. Up against the new man Tigges. He's done well there as well, though. It's now with Reina. And out it goes to Rafael Guerrero. Into Julian Brandt. There's Marco Reus. Back to Brandt again. Out it goes to Tigges. There's Brandt. Switches the play. Well defended by Manchester City, though. And it's now on to Hazard. Sorry, Aguero and then Reina. Of course, Manchester City doing this without Sergio Aguero, remember? And of course, they've still not looked at the bench with Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling both there. And there's a counter-attack on here. De Bruyne trying to find Foden. It's given away, though, and Emre Can knocks it across to Akanji there. And it's into midfield. And it's Rafael Guerrero. Just going to knock it back to Akanji again. And on to the midfield now of Marco Reus. Switches it out to Tiguez. Gives it back to Reus again. It's Hummels from Emre Can. Now it's Akanji. Guerrero on the overlap. He's gone to him as well. He's going to get a chance here to whip it in, is he? Yes, he is. Over the head of, I think that was, I couldn't quite see, but it's with Foden now. Haaland was in there, but it wasn't anywhere near him. Phil Foden, was he shoved to the floor? Yes, he was. A referee says free kick here to Man City. 5 remaining. And the German side need to get at least, 3 goals here to go through. They're just showing the Phil Foden effort again. Cannoned off the post and went in off of the hands of the goalkeeper as well. Of course, Manchester City earlier today looked at sign. Well, they didn't even look at. They did sign a 13-year-old from my local team, Stevenage. They signed a young 13-year-old for 400k. Looking for players in the future. And certainly the players on show right now are doing no harm whatsoever. But that is a crazy bit of business from Manchester City there to spend that big on a 13-year-old. But, Stevenage are very well known for getting good money for players that have gone on and achieved good things in recent years. So I'm sure Manchester City there have seen this kid and have really rated him and liked a lot of him. There's a chance here for Dortmund now. It's tidied up. Here's Riyad Mahrez. Turns well. There's a bit of space there. De Bruyne. Phil Foden's in acres of space here. It's like 3-on-1. It's Phil Foden. Gives it to Mahrez. Riyad Mahrez. Oh, and it's well defended there by a mixture of the goalkeeper hits and also, I think there was Akanji as well. It did look like the Manchester City forward line were in there. Phil Foden originally as well. Tried to find Bernardo Silva. He let the ball roll through to the Algerian Mahrez. And it was a mixture of the defender, Akanji, and the goalkeeper who got it clear. And Raheem Sterling is going to be getting some minutes here at the end of this game for Manchester City as well. And he is replacing what looks like an injured Riyad Mahrez. With City's first change of the evening. Here's Kevin De Bruyne now. It's out with Bernardo Silva. Raheem Sterling's just in up front at the moment. Looks like he's going to be leading the line on his own. Here's Kyle Walker now. Rodri. Walker. Gundogan. Tried to find Silva and it's gone out of play for a throw. 2 minutes plus stoppage time. Manchester City away from a lucrative semi-final against the French side PSG, who knocked out Bayern last night. We will keep you up to date at full time of anything that's happened over at Anfield in that game as well. As Liverpool were hoping to turn around a 3-1 defeat from the first leg against Real Madrid to see who faces off with Chelsea, who beat Porto last night in the next semi-final. Here's Hazard now. On it goes to Emre Can. There's a foul there by Zinchenko. Referee says play on though, and it's a absolutely wasted effort there by Emre Can, who's claiming for a yellow card there. The referee's certainly not going to give anything there, though, I don't think. As Manchester City are edging closer to that semi-final, and are currently leading 4-2 on aggregate here. 2-1 on the night, 2-1 last week as well, remember, over at the Etihad Stadium. And it's them going through to that semi-final, barring a miracle from Dortmund, and they've got to score, as I said, I think it's 3 goals in about a minute plus stoppage time, which is very, very unlikely. And it's cleared up by Edison now. There's a foul there as well. Just trying to see who it was. It was Zinchenko, head injury. The referee's waving on the physio up against Reina, and we are now entering the 90th minute mark. We'll find out shortly how much stoppage time we've got, as Manchester City are certainly going to be progressing through into that semi-final against PSG. It's Zinchenko now. He's just got to be checked over by the physio, of course, for potential head injuries. Just looking at the other game as well between Liverpool and Real Madrid. As we enter 4 minutes of stoppage time, it's still 0-0 in that one. So it looks like Real Madrid are going to be going through to face off against Chelsea in the other semi-final. And of course, it's going to be PSG for the winners of this one. So it's going to be England against France and England against Spain. And then, of course, potentially an all-English final if both sides get through. It'd be great to see. Here is a Kanji now. Mats Hummels does well there. Into 4 minutes of stoppage time. We've had one of those minutes already. Here's Haaland. There's Brandt now. Out it goes to Guerrero. Rafael Guerrero. Or Guerrero. Onto Brandt. He gets it back again. Julian Brandt into the box. And it's gone behind, is it? No, he's kept in there. Kyle Walker hooks it clear and out of play for a throw. Almost halfway through the added time. And it's throw in here to Emre Can. He's up against De Bruyne. And referee waves advantage here. Given away though. I will let you know my man of the match in a moment as well, because it's almost that time of the evening. Here is, who's that there now? Bernardo Silva giving the ball away there, looking to find Sterling, but it's given away. And my man of the match, I'm going to do it. I'll give it now, in fact. I'm going to give it to Manchester City's number 47, Phil Foden. I thought he's been very, very good today. So it looks like his goal is going to be the winner as well. So Phil Foden is the man that gets my man of the match, as Raheem Sterling gets possession. Now, of course, that's sponsored by Commentary Services. So well done to Phil Foden on that one. Putting a good shift today. And thoroughly deserving of that man of the match award. And of course, it looks like his goal, we can see his side through as well quite comfortably at the moment. City are just playing it around in midfield and through the defence there as well. Here's Bernardo Silva now on to Kyle Walker. And then back to John Stones there and on to Raheem Sterling. And here is Rodri now and giving out to Zinchenko. There's De Bruyne. There's Gundogan. On to De Bruyne now. On to Gundogan. On to Zinchenko, sorry. On to De Bruyne. Back to Zinchenko again. On to Rodri now. And then it's with Diaz and now John Stones. And Kyle Walker now. We're into the final minute of stoppage time. Manchester City cruising through at the moment. And they're just playing it around just to see this one out now, really. And they're just playing it around. And here's a chance here for Raheem Sterling. And he's busting the guts to get to the box, Sterling. And it's going to try and find the ball across there, and it's well defended by the Borussia Dortmund man. That might have been Mats Hummels, I couldn't quite see. And it's free kick here now with about 5 seconds remaining on the clock. Manchester City heading through to face PSG in that semi-final. Looks like Chelsea, Real Madrid in the other one. And there you go. The referee has blown his whistle. And just like last week, Manchester City are 2-1 winners, and it's them that progress by 4-2 on aggregate against Borussia Dortmund. Dortmund have a lot of work to do in league action. 5th, as I mentioned, 19 points behind the leaders Bayern Munich. Even 14 points behind 2nd, I believe. 8 behind 3rd, and even 7 points behind 4th place in the Bundesliga. And they've got a lot of work to do if they want to be playing Champions League football next season. And they are out of that competition now, as Phil Foden and his men are victorious once again in this Champions League quarter-final, as they were in Manchester last week. And they've gone on and progressed on aggregate by 4-2 with another 2-1 victory. And of course, as I mentioned, we'll be facing PSG in the semis. So thank you very much. And over to Russ, who's going to just let us know what's happened in the other game, in the concluding stages of that game between Liverpool and Real Madrid. But Manchester City progressed by 4-2 and face off with PSG. And a real opportunity for the quadruple. It's still on for the citizens.
That is correct, Mike. Still on for the citizens. The quadruple is, as they've progressed by 4-2 on aggregate. 2-1 win on the night, like it was last week. And in the other quarter final, finished Liverpool 0, Real Madrid 0. So Liverpool are out, and we cannot get an all British and English final in the Champions League. Real Madrid go through to play Chelsea. Manchester City play PSG after beating Borussia Dortmund. There's the final scenes at Anfield as Liverpool ball Jurgen Klopp with a fist bump to opposite numbers. Zinedine Zidane. The players hug each other in white of Real Madrid, consoling some of the Liverpool players, including Mohamed Salah in there. But Thibaut Courtois looks like he might be the man of the moment, kept out Liverpool. So the semi-finals, Chelsea versus Real Madrid and PSG versus Manchester City. Tomorrow, we've got coverage of Slavia Prague versus Arsenal, 8 o'clock kickoff for that one with Jack Cunningham, Mike Orneman presenting the coverage for that game. Also, we have got coverage of Rotherham United versus Coventry with myself. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock for that one. Rotherham, with a win, can go out of the relegation zone tomorrow in the Championship. But big news. We've got Paris Saint-Germain versus Manchester City in the semi-finals of the Champions League. And Chelsea versus Real Madrid. It's all to play for coming up then. And very interesting to see how that one goes. But for matches that are on the way coming up, Football Commentary Live, we've got commentary between Rotherham United versus Coventry tomorrow at 7 o'clock in the Championship. Join myself for that one from 6:45 for the 7 o'clock kickoff. Then join Mike Hunneman and Jack Cunningham from 7:45 for Slavia Prague versus Arsenal. And then join Nicholas Jones for commentary on Reading versus Cardiff on Friday. And then John Stuttard is back for Chelsea versus Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final with his alongside making his Football Commentary Live debut is Chris Wyman. Great to have him on board. And then should be presenting that and producing that as well. And then other matches coming up, we'll let you know in due course. But that's our first FA Cup semi-final offering, Chelsea versus Manchester City. We'll try and cover both Champions League semi-finals if we can. But before we go anywhere, I'm going to fetch back in your match commentator, Mike Orman. And Mike, just talk to us. Why was Phil Foden, Man City's number 47, your man of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services this evening?
I thought he was excellent today. I thought he worked very, very hard. Obviously, he got himself another goal as well as he did last week. I thought he got himself in very dangerous positions. There was a number of players from Manchester City I could have picked. Could have picked Kevin De Bruyne. I could have picked, Zinchenko got himself forward very well and did everything he needed to do really from a defensive sort of aspect as well. But yeah, I think Phil Foden really had a good game today. He certainly shone for me, and he's a real talent. And Gareth Southgate is blessed to have some young, blood coming through for the Euros. Jude Bellingham put in a performance of note as well for Borussia Dortmund, and was probably up until we got substituted one of their better players as well. So Gareth Southgate certainly got a lot to choose from for England, and Phil Foden certainly at the top of that list as well, and put in a really good performance today. Got himself a goal and worked very hard, and he looked bright and lively every chance he got.
Yes, my one thing that Leeds fans have been putting on social media tonight is that Manchester City managed to keep Erling Haaland quiet tonight, and for the biggest part, apart from his goal, Jude Bellingham, well, they couldn't keep Stuart Dallas and Jan Alioski quiet for the goals and that Leeds produced at the weekend. And Mike, why do you think that Manchester City? What do you think from the game of the weekend against Leeds to the game tonight? What do you think the main reason was for Manchester City being able to keep Haaland quiet tonight, but not Stuart Dallas on the weekend?
It's a hard one to call. Of course, Manchester City look like they're going to go on and cruise the Premier League anyway. They're only 3 wins away from winning that, so it might be a bit of complacency in that aspect. Of course, there was a certain number of players rested as well for that game. I think you said earlier that I think there was 4, maybe even 5 Manchester City players, the main sort of ones that normally played and that played tonight that didn't play in that last game. And I think it's the likes of De Bruyne, I think was one of the ones that wasn't playing in that game, and I think that might have had a bit of a difference if he's played that one. But I don't know really. I think it's probably a complacency thing really for Manchester City, who will go on and win the league and they will lift the title. And it might be the fact that they know that Dortmund are a really good side. They've got a good home record as well. But although they're very poor in the league this season, they're still very world class opponent, and then over Erling Haaland is an exceptional striker. But I don't know. Maybe it's they kind of underestimated Leeds a bit. It could be something even as simple as that.
Yes, and just going to have a look now at some of the points which the fans have been tweeting about the game tonight, and Man City, and someone has just getting some tweets in here now. One of them says, let's just find some of the clean ones here this evening. Let's just have a look for some of the clean ones.
What I will say, just before you do that, is that's Pep Guardiola. He's now unbeaten in his last 7. His last 8, I should say, against Borussia Dortmund. Going back to even before he was at Manchester City, that's 5 wins and 3 draws there. And Erling Haaland yet again failed to score in the Champions League. This is 4 from 15, I believe. And he had also, up until today, he scored in all 4 of his home appearances in the competition as well, and wasn't able to get the better of Ruben Diaz and John Stones and co, who dealt with him very well. But what I will say is, Manchester City fully deserved of the win in the end, and of course, go on and face off with PSG in the next round. And what another fantastic game that's going to be. I covered the first leg of PSG against Bayern, and I thought they were very, very good in that one. And of course, they lost the game yesterday, but still progressed anyway via the away goals rule. But It's going to be a real, fantastic opportunity for whoever wins that game to go through. And I'm sure whoever wins that game has to be favourites for the final. No disrespect to Chelsea or Real Madrid, who are two fantastic sides, but if Man City were able to go on and knock out PSG, then they've got to be favourites to go on and win the whole thing.
I think you're actually spot on there, Mike. I think the way Man City play, I think they can go and win the entire lot. I've got a few stats up now after the final whistle from this game tonight come through from at City_Chief on social media. Possession, Dortmund 38 to Man City 62%. There were 10 shots from Dortmund, 17 for Man City, 3 on target to Man City's 5 for Dortmund. Man City had 11 corners to Dortmund's 2, and there were 4 big chances for Man City. And Man City have made it to their second ever Champions League semi-final. Also, I'm just looking through some of the stats for Foden, your man of the match tonight, Mike. I'm just going to read you his stats for our man of the match. He's got 1 goal, 1 shot on target, dribble attempts, 4, and he succeeded with 2, 70 touches, 47 out of 51 accurate passes, which is a 92% ratio, 3 key passes, 4 crosses, which were 2 was accurate, 1 long ball, which was accurate as well, 1 big chance created. He had 9 ground duels with only 6, winning 6, so he only lost 3 of his ground duels and 2 tackles in there. We'll go back on that point in a minute, Mike. If you just look at this, Riyad Mahrez's numbers from today: 1 goal, 1 shot on target, 4 dribble attempts with 2 succeeded, 53 touches, 31 out of 34 accurate passes, which is a 91%, 3 key passes, 2 long balls, 1 accurate, 9 ground duels, 5 was won, and 3 tackles there. And another one which has just come in, KDB as well, 1 shot on target, dribble attempts, 5, and successful with all 5 of those attempts. A World War once, 93 touches, 57 out of 67 accurate passes with 85% win rate. Long balls, 5, which 3 was accurate. He had attempted 12 ground duels and coming out winning 8 of those. And there were 2 tackles that he won in there as well. And looking at the stats which I've just read out for the man of the match now, Mike, Phil Foden, he just goes to show why you picked him reading back his stats there, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And as I said before, really, he's put in a really good performance tonight. Of course, the England man, Gareth Southgate, is probably watching on. Well, no doubt he is watching on and very pleased there over how Phil Foden's played. But yeah, it was a real positive performance from Manchester City. Of course, they could have had a couple more goals on the counter-attack when Dortmund were trying to push on and get those couple of goals back as well. There was opportunities there that were spurned, and they could have gone on and maybe got another goal or 2 to really seal the win. But Manchester City progress and face off with PSG, and Chelsea face off with Real Madrid, and possibly we'll get an all-English final if things go the way that we want them to. And then, of course, the Europa League, there's still that potential as well for the all-English final there. And what a season that will be for English football if we've got 2 English finals to, decide who wins the 2 major European football competitions. And then we've got, of course, Tottenham and Man City, I should say, in the Carabao Cup as well. And then the FA Cup final, which, of course, is a huge game as well, with Manchester City facing off against Chelsea at the weekend, and the winners of that one going through to face either Southampton or Leicester. And you'd have to put the winners of that tie between Chelsea and Man City as favourites as well. And they could well be meeting in a final in the Champions League, and that kind of adds to the amount of games that they've got coming up against each other, if that's the case, because they've still got to play each other in the league as well.
Indeed, Mike, indeed. Just another comment in here from Alfie Orland, the father of Erling from Dortmund. He says, "Well done, City, congrats. But some strange refereeing decisions over the 2 legs all the best in the next round as well. That's just some reaction coming out on social media
I've
tonight.
just seen one as well, just a moment ago, from a certain member of Oasis as well. He's just putting it.
Liam
Yeah.
Gallagher, yes, I've just seen that. He said, and he put, I said, maybe go to this song. And just going to read you some stats from Rodri, then we'll finish up there. So, chances created for Rodri was 96 touches, 81 out of 87%, 81 out of 87 accurate passes, which is a 93% win rate. He attempted 5 long balls, with 4 of those was accurate. Dribbles 1, which he was successful with. Ground duels 3, which he was successful with all. Aerial duels 2, and he was successful with both of those as well. Won 2 fouls, 6 recoveries, 2 interceptions, 1 clearances. So fantastic performance from Rodri as well. So a number of players Mike could have picked. Last year's man of the match was Phil Foden. He brought you some brilliant coverage of this game this evening between Borussia Dortmund and Manchester City. Join us again tomorrow night when you've got a choice of commentary. Rotherham United, can they get out of the Championship relegation zone and survive for another season? That's coming up at 7 o'clock with myself on Football Commentary Live. And then why not join Jack Cunningham and Mike Ornament for Slavia Progress' Arsenal quarter to 8. So from myself and from Mike, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you tomorrow on 2 separate streams.
Cheers for listening, everyone. And of course, as Russ mentioned there, you've got 2 streams tomorrow. So keep an eye across the social media, and you'll be able to find out across both streams really what's happening in either stream. And of course, Rotherham are really trying to get out of the relegation zone and really trying to push up the league a little bit as well. And what an achievement that'll be for them. And of course, it's going to be all to play for Mikel Arteta's Arsenal as well, out in Slavia Prague, to decide whether Arsenal progress through to that semi-final or not, and possibly even Mikel Arteta's future. You never know.
Yes, that is correct. So stay tuned to Football Commentary Live for some more great coverage and commentary. Plus, then we'll have Nicholas Jones on Friday with Reading against Cardiff, and then on Saturday join John Stuttard, myself, and making his Football Commentary Live debut, a good friend of mine and JB, John Stuttard's, Chris Wyman, and also Max as well, for his Football Commentary Live debut as Chelsea take on Manchester City. So you'll hear Manchester City again on Saturday. So from us, everyone here at Football Commentary Live this evening, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again very soon. Good night, everybody.